Hi, we're Rosie and Charlie, and since November 2023, we've been living and working in Australia. So far, we've visited places like Sydney, Melbourne and Adelaide, as well as a handful of things in between. But just a few days ago, we embarked on an 11-week road trip travelling through Queensland and the Northern Territory all the way to South Australia. Come with us as we navigate this humongous country. Morning everyone, it's a new day. We've made our way from Brisbane to the Sunshine Coast, starting in the Glasshouse Mountains. Took us about maybe an hour and a bit to get here, and we're on our first trail, which is called Mount Beerburrum, I think. It's going to take us about an hour 20 to get there and back, and so far very quiet and not too hot. After 15 minutes, you'll come across a sign and a small car park. This is literally the sign indicating it's all up from here. Eventually you'll find your way to a fire tower, and here you can celebrate the views. So finished the track, and when they said it was steep, they weren't kidding. Super steep. It reminded us of when we done the hike in Koh Phangan in Thailand, like that steep. Usually Charlie is one for going straight up, and I do a little bit and then stop, do a little bit and stop, but even Charlie on this one had to stop every so often. And then we were so humbled as we were coming down because an old man, who must have been in about late 70s, was walking up, no issues. In total it took us about an hour and a half, obviously with the stopping off as well. When you get to the top of this very steep path, you then get to a fire tower, a few steps, and then you can see like 360. You can even see across to Brisbane. Unfortunately, very gorgeous views, but ruined by some wild fires. And you can see burnt parts like all of the way round.
It wasn't ruined, it was just like super hazy.
Yeah, we've never seen anything like that before. So you can find this particular trail on Reels on Instagram, or if you have All Trails, it's like the 5th popular one, and it's got like a 4.7 star. It actually says it's a walking track. It is not a walking track.
Well, it is, it's all paved, so technically I guess it is.
But you're not doing any walking, you're doing that. That is what you're doing. But considering that it is 5th popular and like the 2nd best rating, we only saw 3 people as we were going up and maybe about 7 people going down. Since being here, maybe 4 more people have arrived. And if you thought going down would be any easier, you'll be in for a surprise. Charlie kept himself occupied by finding a strange little way of dealing with this. We thought, whilst there's loads of space, we'll put on awning. So if you're hearing a lot of racket, that's Charlie figuring that out so that it saves us a job, and that we can then get good pictures so that we can sell this bad boy, Murphy. All good, all done?
I think so.
And then you can tell that we're backpackers because Charlie's made a makeshift stall.
Love it.
So I think the plan is for a next hike. We have 2 options. One option is like a 6k circuit, and the other one is a mountain, which is 2 point something. And we decided to go with the longer one but flatter one. So the other one was like a very steep one again. we first started this circuit, we were like, it's a bit busier. We saw about 8 people, but after that, for like the next 50 minutes, no one. We've then just passed 3 people. So it's not very popular at all. Just taking a 5-minute break whilst we look at the views of what is known as Jack Ferris. Very, very stunning. And lucky for us, it's all to ourselves. And because there's not a no drone zone.
Well, I hope so. I've just done it anyway.
Yeah. We've Googled it and it doesn't say anything about you can't. Unlike in New South Wales where everywhere you go has no drones.
Which I do get because I've just put out and the hike has been so peaceful and quiet. Like, it is so loud when you like you don't realise how loud it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, some of the views you get from it is just insane.
Yeah. I'm guessing maybe the reason why Queensland doesn't have it is because it's such a vast state and
you think places
and
like,
an area like this is huge.
I think with like some of the places, not all of them, a lot of them in Queensland, you do have to like hike a lot to like
Get there.
Whereas like a lot of New South Wales spots are like, oh, you can park here and it's
Just there.
just there, you know.
So the next one we're going to climb is that one. Not even in my wildest dreams would I ever hike that one. Yay! What a slog.
Rosie wasn't very happy at the end. I think she was just a bit over the trail. But I thought it was alright.
Yeah, I had in my head that it was going to be an hour 40 and then it got to a point...
It was about an hour 40 because I didn't pause.
Okay.
So.
Got to a point like an hour in and Charlie was like, hour done, hour to go. And I was like, oh my God, I really don't want to be...
I just think I thought it was nice. It was really peaceful, but
it was so peaceful.
I think it's just one of those. It's a lack of variety trail. Like, it is mostly just pathway through the woodlands. So you've just got woods on either side. So the only time we really saw is when we detoured and went to a viewpoint.
Yeah.
But it was gorgeous. But yeah, I think this route is more of like, I could see this being like a long walk if you had your headphones in maybe or something like that, and just like de-stress and although you've got to be careful because we did like see a snake.
Sorry.
I think it was dead, but we still saw, you know, it was on the pathway. So
yeah, I would say if you're fancying one that has a great view but more hard work, the first one. If you're not bothered about the views and you just want a long walk,
peaceful, quiet,
this one's a good one.
Yeah, really no one about. It's so quiet.
Yeah, we've got really lucky today on both of them that it's been quite quiet, but also having the views to ourselves as well.
It is midweek though.
Yeah.
So we're going to go and find our hotel, whatever we're staying in, apartment, accommodation.
Are we not going to see if there's any drinks?
Maybe, but I don't know if they'll let her in the pub smelling like this.
I don't smell that bad, do I?
Don't smell that good either.
It is day 4 in the Sunshine Coast and the second day of hiking. So we've given ourselves 2 days to kind of rest. We left around 8:45 this morning, hoping that we can get to the trail nice and early. And we have the final parking space. It's supposed to be the most popular within the hinterlands of the Sunshine Coast. And
you can see why.
Yeah, It's very busy with a relatively small car park, and it's only what, 9:15, 9:20. So hopefully this will be a nice little walk and it's not too busy, but we will take you on the way and let you know our thoughts once we're back. I know. Along the way you come across a beautiful lookout, a handful of steps and a stretch of cobblestones, bringing you to the falls. Made our way to Kondalilla Falls.
That was perfectly pronounced.
Thank you. And as you can see, we've had a lot of rain, so she's flowing. But unfortunately we can't actually do the whole circuit. We did see a sign back up the path saying that the lower part was closed off. And we thought that's not going to be an effect to us. We were wrong. So it is actually closed off the whole bottom part of the circuit that we were planning on doing. But I can see from here that there's people and a platform right at the top. So we might just walk our way up there and get the steps up.
Find the drone, I didn't pause all trails.
Reoccurrence on this channel. Seeing as the lower circuit is closed, now means that the stairs that we came down, we've got to go back up. And I was really hoping, with us going through the lower, that we wouldn't have to. To tell you the truth, that wasn't that bad. You come up, there's a sign to the rock pools. We can see the rock pools and it's very busy. Now we know where all the people in the car park are. Here. So if you walk along from the rock pools, you can go up to what would be the continuation of the circuit. Not much is happening, you can't really see a better view, unfortunately. And we have agreed that the lower one is better than the rock pool view. So this is what we can see. Beautiful, but no waterfall in sight. And this streak, for some reason, is super humid compared to all the other bits that we've come to. But it might also be because it's warmed up now, rather than the cold that we had this morning. As you can see, by the sweat. Made it back, and statistics man, please let us know what we've got.
Yeah, we only done like just under 4Ks because the pass was
Closed. And how long did that take us?
That's about an hour 20, but that's because we stopped to fly the drone, sat at the rock pools. I didn't pause it, did I?
Yeah, no. Okay, so the walk is relatively nice. There's quite a few stairs, but it's doable. I was able to do all of it without stopping. Yay me. Yeah, so it's a nice easy one,
Very busy.
Especially with the circuit being closed, but it is very, very busy. When we were walking back up, there was loads of people. We were going, where are they parking? But it looks like a lot of people have just created their own car parking space. Not ideal, but if you want to go see a waterfall and there's not enough spots, what you're going to do. So I think we're now going to go for a lookout and then play it by ear. The next part of the day is not really planned.
No, that's fine.
And that is fine.
Travellers now,
yeah, whimsical.
Whimsical travellers that definitely don't have an itinerary.
They definitely don't have like a very
And a spreadsheet.
set itinerary and Excel spreadsheet. Yeah, that's not us anyway. We'll see you wherever we come to next. Quick stop at Mapleton Falls Lookout. That's it there. And that's the car park there. Very, very easy to do. So I've already done my research on where I want to go per day, and we were looking into it yesterday. Obviously, because all of the flooding, things have changed with the treks or the hikes or the walks that we're doing. Looking at this one today, so it's called Mapleton Falls. The hike is supposed to be relatively nice, but because of all the rain, the creeks are like knee deep. So we thought no to that one. And especially considering that I read a thing yesterday that said a lady had fallen at this falls 80 feet and then died. And the worst part about it, she's the third person this year. So that terrified me a little bit. Don't think we'll be doing this one. So we're going to do a small easy hike called Wompoo Circuit, which is a 4.4 kilometers easy, and it take about 30 minutes. So better than, you know, falling off a cliff to your death. Just on our little circuit now. This one is a must for mozzie spray. I'm getting them all over my legs at the moment. Bearing in mind it is sort of a rainforest, so expect mud and mozzies. Cool, finished the little circuit, and it did take us around maybe 20 minutes. And this one again, parking's a bit limited. It looks like there's a lot more curved around. I can't really see how much there is. But we were right in saying in that last place, people had made up their own parking spaces. All along as we were exiting were cars. It might be the same for here because this one's quite busy as well. But that is the end of the hiking in Sunshine Coast. It's been lovely. I'm very happy with our walks. So thank you for that, Sunshine Coast.